I can hear you, Ed Fandango. This is Mr. Mojo Rising, and I'm here to tell you that I'm very sorry about the nose breathing in this episode, and the last episode as well. I'm so deeply, terribly sorry, guys. It's not my intention. But yeah, I can't help it. It's a medical problem. I have sleep apnea as well, because I snore like a bitch. I snore like a Boeing 747. I could kill someone with my snoring, basically, and that has contributed in part to my breathing problems. You see, I have a blocked nose for 99% of the year. No, it's not allergies, it's just being Clayton fucking Mitchell, unfortunately. So I do apologise. However, we shall be rectifying the problem by me getting a microphone stand. And if any of you do have a problem, well, fuck you. And now a word from our sponsor.
I only meant like a 5-second intro bit. You didn't have to. You didn't have to do a talk show monologue.
Well, just thought I'd give him something special.
You are special. Specially needed, you fucking cretin.
Yeah, alright.
What are you going to do about it now? I'm going to have to fucking put this in. It's over a minute long!
Alright, Ed, alright.
What do you want me to do with this?
Alright, enough of the jibber jabber.
Jibber jabber? You're the one who talked for over a fucking minute!
I'm going to nose breathe in every episode now.
I'm going to backhand you so hard, your mother's going to feel your testicles through time.
I do apologise, listeners. This will not be a regular occurrence. Thank you for listening to
You
my
won't be a
TED
regular
Talk.
occurrence in fucking life after I'm done with you, tosser.
Hello, and buckle up those seatbelts for another fucking intense ride.
So, welcome back to Wumbas in the Wild with myself and Mr. Mojo Rising. This should be the second episode if all goes well.
I do believe.
We left out quite an important aspect of what we want Wumbas in the Wild to be last episode, I believe, didn't we?
I believe we did, actually, yes.
So, we want to rate people of note as chumbas or wumbas, and this is no relation to the band who did Club Thumping, whatever it was called.
You mean there's actually a band called Chumbawamba?
It's the, that I get knocked down and I get up again.
Well,
they spell it like Chumbawamba, but I think it's pronounced Chumbawamba.
Well, I'll be fucked.
Did you just think we invented it?
Near enough, yeah. I thought it's just something you called me for.
Well, to be honest,
years.
I thought we'd invented it.
Damn.
But then obviously I must have heard it. But it's been a running joke for quite a while now. But Wumbas in the Wild, I believe, is distinct enough to.
I think we copyright that here and now.
What, Wumbas?
Yeah, Wumbas in the Wild.
Wumbas in the Wild, yeah. So trademark my ass. But so we want to go through people, not through people. We want to go through people of note in a categorical way and assign them a chumba or a wumba. And Chumbawambas are very rare, so you'll never.
Chumbawambas are incredibly rare.
It's like fucking good value hookers. Like you just can't find them. But anyway, so I want to start with the interpretation of a chumba or a wumba is up to you, because we all just put forward our opinions on what a chumba or a wumba is. But it's a personal journey, Chumbawamba in. And I want to start with one that I think that we probably will both agree on. But I believe that Nicolas Cage is a S-tier wumba.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm probably agree with that.
He has got the wumba energy because he's so manic and eccentric and just like, whoa! Like, he's just so intense, and that is a wumba quality. So, who would you class as a chumba or a wumba?
I'm going to come right out of the gate and say a strong, we'll say medium tier, because I think there are people that are bigger. I'm going to say he's a chumba, and I'm going to say Jack Black.
Oh,
I think Jack Black is a definitive middle tier, like maybe getting close to top tier chumba.
I'd say Jack Black is close to the realms of a Chumbawamba though, because I think he could be. I would put him in a mid-tier Wumba personally, because he's kind of like the what's Jabling Jables?
What's Jabling Jables?
Yeah. So
boy.
obviously we'll have differing opinions on who's a Chumba or who's a Wumba. I believe a Chumbawamba is Boris Johnson. He is a Chumbawamba. Even though we did find one in the wild, as you can probably see on screen.
Indeed. And
we're not on about anything current in the year 2020. I'm on about like old school Boris Johnson, rugby tackling Japanese kids and rugby tackling people in a charity football match and zip lining across and being on a bike. And
I mean, that zip lining photo.
Old school Boris is a meme.
He is just an absolute legend. Again, obviously, current events aside, Boris Johnson is just
since like he's been a top tier meme for us anyway since like 2015, 2014.
Yeah.
So it's been going a while. Have you got anyone you want to propose to the council?
What are we going for? Chumbawamba, Chumba, or Wumba?
It's up to you, and I'll see what I'm feeling when you say the name.
Who am I going to put up here? Do you know, it's actually a difficult one to think about, isn't it?
I got one for you, Keanu
Reeves. I think he's got to be either Chumbawamba.
Possibly
top tier Wumba.
I think he'd be a top tier Chumba, you know.
Top tier Chumba. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I don't think he's. The thing is, like, you've got to be a bit of a meme to be a Chumbawamba. You've got to be like, just like in a whole new league. And Keanu's just like a down to earth kind of guy, you know. He's a proper Chumba to me.
Right, I've got one for a Chumba. I think he is a definitive Chumba.
Okay,
definitely Chumba. Samuel Jackson.
Oh yeah, 100% Chumba.
Possibly Chumbawamba material.
Pulp Fiction definitely puts him in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, yeah. But again, it's like, has Samuel Jackson ever rugby tackled a Japanese child?
That's very true. I can't say I've ever seen him say that. I don't know the man personally, but
yeah. Oh, I don't know Boris Johnson personally, but
I mean, I near enough to. I've got cardboard cut out of him, if that counts.
Ainsley Harriot's a Chumbawamba.
Oh, now Ainsley, as we know, is just he is top tier.
He's top tier Chumbawamba. I'd put Danny DeVito in that category as well. Actually, now that I think about it.
Essentially, what we're saying is anyone we have a cardboard cutout of.
That is precise. There's a reason we have cardboard cutouts of them three. No, but you know what I mean. It's like they have done things where it's kind of just they are able to become a meme.
I mean, Danny DeVito starts with his Penguin days and Batman, I think.
That's true,
That's like his origins.
But then, like, Trash Man
is where he, like...
Always Sunny in Philadelphia kind of shit. That was, like...
He's basically ascended into God level at that point. He's just phenomenal for
Well, he can't really go down anymore, can he?
Well, he's small enough already.
But yeah, so... obviously, it's your own personal perception on who's a Chumba or who's a Wumba. It's a personal journey, like anything. Who's another good one? Vladimir Putin.
Vladimir Putin. Oof.
I think he's a solid Chumba to me.
I think I'm going to have to agree with you there, actually.
Yeah, solid Chumba. I mean, if Vladimir Putin actually rode a bear, he'd be a Chumbawamba. But...
I mean, he probably does at some point, but... Yeah. Not being Russian, we probably don't see it.
I've got a tough one for you. Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan, he's just a cunt,
He's just a cunt, yeah. So
he's more cunter.
Right, we should add a new category. So there'd be Chumbawamba cunts.
Chumba cunts.
Chumba cunts. So would there be a Wumba cunt to go with the Chumba cunt?
Sort of like a lower, yeah.
Could the woodchucker cunt?
Could the woodchucker cunt?
Cunt woodchucker munt.
How much cunt
could a woodchucker munt?
If a munt chucker could cunt should cunt. Something along those lines.
I didn't realise we were doing some cultural diversity and going to Australia. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I think...
that I just had a thought. Who could be a good one? Shit. I've forgotten. Carry on.
Well, that helps, because now you've got me at a stump.
Fuck's sake. Roll the ads. Oh shit! Never mind.
We're not sponsored by anyone yet.
We are sponsored by my job.
We're sponsored by Bang Energy Drink.
Fuck off.
Manscaped.
I mean, let's just get more than 10 viewers first.
Raid Shadow Legends, I think, is a good shout. It seems to be everyone's go-to.
I mean, to be honest, right? I would be a sellout with sponsors if it was something where I was like, just fuck off. Like Raid Shadow Legends, it's a mobile game. Who actually gives a shit? Right.
Well, that's very true.
But if it was like penis enlargement pills, I'd be a bit skeptical, you know. But yeah, it's just and anyone like Displate, yeah, hit me up.
Alright, Displate, please give us a cheeky D.
Got one on the way.
You boy.
I'm a customer, so please help. No, but with sponsorships, right? Well, obviously it's my YouTube channel, but I would be kind and donate some of the proceeds to not you.
I mean, you can be kind, but I'm taking my share and I'm just living it large.
Your share is literally, I'll buy you a fucking cheeseburger.
I mean, that's all I need.
I'll get you a pint of chocolate milk if I'm feeling generous.
Fucking yes, living the dream.
Not like they took it off you at that concert.
Absolute boss.
Right, I
just want to say, waiting around 6 hours.
Right, we only went that early because I wanted to get right near the front. And to be fair, we were like 3 people from the front.
That's very true. Well, I couldn't see much of the front, so I was being thrown about like a fucking rag doll.
Well, I was a bastion in that crowd.
I mean, I punched a guy in the dick.
That's very true. So we went to a Sabaton concert. You only went because the person I was going to go with was going on a skiing holiday. So you ended up with the ticket, didn't you? Yeah. But basically, I wanted to be right near the front because it was Wembley, 2020, or Feb 2020, just before Rona as well.
Yeah.
So that felt like an age, even though it's not even been a year.
Just about to skate that bad boy.
And it's just... Yeah, and it was just... and Clayton had a full thing of chocolate milk in his bag. And the security guard was like, no drinks. And Clayton's chocky milk was forever gone.
Well, honestly, I had that to keep me going throughout the concert because I knew that...
Well, the pyrotechnics didn't help.
Concert drinks are incredibly expensive. No, anywhere you go, arena drinks just in general.
A bottle of water was like £3 when we went out, and they didn't even give you the fucking lid.
I know. Absolutely, but how am I supposed to jog to the train with an open bottle of water?
If I didn't walk into that concrete pylon... and break my watch and smash my shin, we would have made it on time.
We wouldn't have had to jog for that goddamn
And also,
train.
It was the fact that the other person we were with needs to print off their train ticket.
I know, honestly.
Even though we didn't get the tickets checked, but never mind.
Typical.
That train was packed, though. I was surprised.
It was quite long.
It was the last train, I think.
Last train.
Yeah.
Last train from London.
But yeah, so that was an experience. I knew it was going to be like that, but also being like 3 months out of major surgery wasn't probably
I mean, that was my first ever proper concert. I'd been to like a folk festival.
Yeah, that was my first one as well, yeah.
Which was like just full of people on weed sitting in a park.
Well, that's basically what my brother gets up to, but never mind.
That proper concert was just insane. And people had warned me,
packed.
Beware of the mosh pits. I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. You know, I've seen them on TV.
I was right. You know. I was like one person away from it.
Well,
but then I found you in the crowd, and I was like, come here, come to me. I will protect you.
We started together. We were all 3 of us together.
Yeah.
And then eventually you disappeared, and me and Scott,
Yeah.
We were together, but then he disappeared. And
he went into the mosh pit.
Yeah, he went into the mosh pit, and I was on my own. I was scared for my life. There was hair flipping about.
Remember on the Amaranth section at the start, and there was that dude right next to me, and he was like screaming, "I love you!"
Oh, man.
And he was fucking whipping his hair about, and I was like, "You take someone's eye out there, mate."
It's just insane.
I love you. It's like, she's never going to look at you, mate. Like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, man. Eventually...
I tell you what, though. I enjoyed Amaranth and Apocalypse and I have actually been listening to them ever since. So
I must admit, for a first timer, not listening to them, they were Absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
I mean,
but Sabaton stole, like, they were on their A game.
Not a clue what they were singing half the time,
No.
but you know, I'll get into it eventually when I wasn't punching people in dicks for crowd surfing.
Yeah, it was the same bloke. It was like the same 3 people, wasn't it?
Oh, I literally had the same bloke, and every now and then he'd come
It
back.
would be
and
like
ask
a
for
leg
his
just
phone.
come out of nowhere, just like bong.
Yeah, you'd be there trying to enjoy somewhat of not the mosh pit, and you'd be like, yeah, I can get into this. You start bobbing your head. Ideally, not bobbing it that ecstatically that people think you're starting a mosh pit, but enough that people think, this guy's a newcomer, we'll leave him be.
Yeah.
And then 5 seconds later, smash, knee in the back of your head, and then he's just like, oh, sorry, mate. And you're like, you fucking will be. I said, look, you fucking do it again, you're going down. Luckily,
I would love to have seen that happen.
the next time, he went down, and my fist was in line with his penis. And I'd had enough at that point. I just thought, wallop, you're going down. And he did. I said, near enough, like, fucking told you so. And then 10 minutes later, God,
That's a Wumba move right there.
he came back asking for his phone. He was like, oh, sorry, mate, have you seen my phone? I'm like, no, maybe you weren't fucking crowd surfing. You'd still have your fucking phone, wouldn't you, you knob?
It was a great day, though, wasn't it?
It was a pretty good day, I must admit.
I really enjoyed it.
Good fun.
Even though I made you queue and the drive back home afterwards. And
Plus,
all
there
that.
were some nice looking ladies there, I'm not going to lie. Nice looking ladies.
Very nice. On about music, actually, I've noticed, especially recently in all this lockdown shenanigans, whatnot, that I am. What's the best way of putting it? I am very inconsistent with what I want to listen to. Like, I obviously have my power metal. Well, not really. Sabaton's a bit of its own thing, but like Sabaton, or like I do listen to other power metal bands, and then I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'll put this song radio on, and then I'll end up doing like doing like an hour bender on Japanese techno, which is where I'm currently at the moment, because like you hear one song, you're like, actually that's a pretty good song, and then you do like song radio, and then you find more. I end up down this rabbit hole because the song Virtual Insanity. What's that? All this seems to gonna win now.
I think this needs to be a new segment.
Anyway, so I found that song by, I can't remember how I got to that, but I got to that song through like doing a Daft Punk radio and going like down the line. So it's like I find another song, go there, go there, go there, and then I just ended up like, because I reset my Spotify account because I wanted to change because it was linked to my Facebook, and I was like, well, I just kind of want to I don't want it to be linked to my Facebook. Like, I want to kind of just fucking phase out of having anything connected to it.
Yeah.
So I had to cancel the old one, make the new one. I was like, well, I'm just gonna go random, and there's like a couple of meme songs in there, but like one of them is you meme where it's like, you were the clock that was ticking him, and it's like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. That song is actually a really good song.
Oh, was it?
Like a lot of the meme songs, right, are actually slappers.
Yeah.
Like obviously Rick Rollins been around for ages, but Never Gonna Give You Up is a timeless slapper.
I mean,
like, it's a banger.
I despise the song, but even I.
But
can
it's
admit
the content. It's the way the song has been used over the years. But in an isolated environment, it's a good song.
I mean, put it this way: where I work, it's the same music every fucking day.
Yeah.
And then,
I feel sorry for people who work in retail at this time of year.
Well, especially. But then one day, luckily, the guy I work with on the bar, he put his phone in. It was just like pure 80s classics.
Yeah, you like the old shit, don't you?
And I'd be like you. Yeah, my music taste varies. My Spotify's like music soundtracks. Then like
you
Frank
listen to
Zappa
you listen to some right weird shit though, like that fucking whatever that one is, like the fucking Queen of England's knickers or whatever in it.
Oh, Eric Burdon. If you guys like really awesome songs,
it's not awesome.
It is.
It's just
absolutely brilliant.
It's fucking weird for the sake of being weird.
Eric Burdon and War and their rendition of Painted Black. It's called Painted Black Medley, and it is just like, I think it's like 10 minutes long.
It's like they watched
incredible.
Clockwork Orange and went, I'm going to take acid now.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's got like African drums in it or something like that. Yeah, it's obviously painted black.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, they started, doing this weird little bit. And then Eric Burden does this weird little like fucking poem thing about the police and
yeah
weird shit. You're like, PC3
Yeah,
pushed his truncheon, not me.
Yeah, that it was like, I listened to it and I was like, what the fuck does he listen to?
It's absolutely brilliant.
But
that combined with Frank Zappa, it's just top tier.
I think a band, I can always go back to Red Hot Chili Peppers if I want to listen to something, because I do like the style, like the groove of it, like the old. I do like Dark Necessities. I do like the album. There are some really good songs in there. I like Go Robot. I do like Dark Necessities. There's Sick Love's also a good one. But I think Go Robot's kind of like the one that tickles my pickle. Like it's funky, it's good bass line kind of thing. And I think that does reflect on why I do like listening to old school Daft Punk kind of homework era kind of Daft Punk. But I do like some new like songs that come out. Like I tell you, Blinding Lights.
That's a good.
That one. That is a genuine slapper. I genuinely do love that song. But it's kind of got like the older aesthetic to it, because I do listen to some like rap and all that as well. And I do like beats, and I do like sort of the theory behind it and the breakdown, and when you notice certain elements of it. But I think privately, my private playlists and my public playlists, so the music that I listen to and the music I tell people I listen to are
very different.
They are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
But there are certain like contingents in that group that I listen to that I don't mention. Like I'll tell people I listen to ELO and Red Hot Chili Peppers and Daft Punk and all that, but I won't mention that I also listen to Powerwolf and Sabaton. So because the thing is, it's not necessarily like I'm ashamed of the fact I listen to them, but it's like I just don't want to get into a conversation on what they are and what they do, and then people look it up and are like, oh, what's this and what's that? It's like, if I just tell them bands that they know, then that's like the end of it.
Yeah, it's a bit like me, to be fair. Obviously, not a lot of people know like Frank Zappa and Kiss goes a bit unrecognised. Obviously, I'm big.
Oh, it's a bit of an old
school, classic rock and whatnot. But I mean, a bit like you, I'm not really much of a fan of more modern stuff. There's a couple bands and people. One song I do like is it's in Into the Spider-Verse, Sunflower, I think it was, by Post Malone and someone else.
Yeah.
I think that's an absolute cracking tune, that is.
Yeah.
Apart from that, any modern people I really listen to is probably like Arcade Fire, but only because they're quite.
I mean, I do listen to like Kendrick and all that as well. I do like that, and it's just kind of like, I think the problem with like with chart music, it's very like, it's meant to get popular, it's meant to be listened to a lot. But I do like songs that kind of bands that do kind of do their own thing and do have their own identity, because sometimes like a lot of chart toppers are kind of just like, we're all doing the same thing to get there. I can't because anyone could probably retort my opinion, but it's just like, oh, it's just the same old guy saying the same old shit to the same old beat, and it's just like the same old, like, oh yeah, it's this, and then it's just pushed by music companies, and that's why I do like finding smaller artists and stuff like that, which is when I do go on my Spotify benders of radios and like Spotify song radios and stuff. I do one song radio, then I take another song from that playlist, I do a song radio for that, and I just keep going, because you can't really trust the Spotify playlist to find new music, because it is very geared towards who's going to listen to it and what artists are going to attract. The thing is, the Spotify CEO keeps saying some real dumb shit, He's like, artists should pay us more, and like, if you don't put the work in all the time, you're not going to get as well. And it's like, do you remember the controversy when Drake released, I think it was Scorpion, and it was like front page, and then it was like in all the playlists and advertised here and there. And it's like people like, we literally pay to not have ads, and you're pushing an artist that we've never listened to a Drake song, and it is kind of scummy that they do. But they push the artist that's going to get the sales, but it's kind of like, well, you're pushing the artist to the people that's already paying.
Yeah, it's just called too commercial now. I think is what it is. It's more money orientated, whereas back in the day,
Spotify always. I don't think it's ever made money.
It
constantly loses money because it's basically a cycle of, they get more members, so they have to pay more royalties and licenses and stuff, and it just never ends. It just keeps getting pumped in by investors.
To be honest, I mainly use Spotify just for podcasts, to be honest. So Spotify want to pick us up, by all means. Yeah. Pick us up, please.
Yeah, so we can actually get a studio.
But music-wise, I tend to sponge off my mum's free Amazon Prime. So I get the Amazon Music.
I've never used Amazon Prime Music.
It's good, obviously quite. If you're Amazon Prime, you get quite a lot of albums free. And obviously if there's any that aren't free, if you buy them, you can get them on your library.
Oh, okay.
And it's similar to Spotify now. Now they do podcasts as well. Yeah. So any podcasts I have on Spotify, I can find on. Well, not any. There's obviously some that don't appear on either. But especially music-wise, it does a good thing. I like it on the homepage. It comes up with like my soundtrack.
Okay.
So sort of, I guess some sort of algorithm sort of looks.
Oh, like when you get your Wrapped thing for Spotify.
Sort of like when it says like daily top picks and something like that. It sort of like looks at what you listen to.
Yeah, you get daily mixes on Spotify and stuff as well. Yeah, and they also do like new releases and whatnot.
Yeah, and it's good. I quite like to listen to that every now and then. It gives there's a lot of artists on there that I might have overlooked.
Yeah.
I might have heard like one of their songs and thought, that's all right. But then you listen to it again, it's like, that's an absolute banger. And you go back, you look at their albums, you go, I'll give it a listen.
And then you go back through the catalogue,
Even artists I listen to all the time, the Doors is a big one. There's a few albums I've missed of theirs, and I'm a big Doors fan.
Yeah.
There's a few albums I like, but I like one or two songs. But there's times if I'm doing, nothing or just working or whatever, I have it in the background and I'll just, I fucking can't be asked to skip. And I'm like, damn, I've missed this song for like years and this is an absolute banger.
When I first got my car, that's when I first bought CDs. I mean, I used to listen to CDs all the time, like this was before aux leads and Bluetooth and all that. This was obviously back in the day, mum and dad's car. But I think when I started listening to CDs in the car, you'd listen to a whole album in like a package, and then that made me appreciate more, not just nitpicking songs that I wanted out of albums. And I sat down and I'd listen to a whole album, and then I could start being a bit more picky after a couple of listens through, because I feel like sometimes songs grow on you, and some of my more favourite songs are ones that I initially was a bit like, bit on the fence.
Yeah, same for me with Game of the Doors. One of my now all-time favourite ones is one that I always used to overlook, and now if I'm feeling a bit down or whatever, or I feel like in a real bubbly mood, I'll whack it on and I'm like, it's fucking great, love it.
I mean, we did have a best of ELO CD. And I did listen to that a lot, and I still do like Mr. Blue Sky, Don't Turn Me Down, Turn a Stone, Evil Woman, that kind of. And I still cannot accept to this day, and it was after I read the lyrics in the CD manual that he says gross and doesn't say Bruce.
It is a travesty.
I read that, and me and my mum was singing it as Bruce for years. I
know, it's one of those like really weird things where it's just like you don't expect it. Yeah, and it's like, wait, hang on a minute.
Well, I think that was like back to Peter Kay again, second episode. But he does a skit where he like plays the music and it sounds like something else. And there was one where it's like, I used to staple the vicar.
Oh man, I did say I'm not a fan of Peter Kay, but in the last episode. But one thing I will admit is that bit he does.
Yeah.
It cracks me up, I must say. It is staple the vicar. Oh, man.
But yeah, just imagine like running up to the vicar of Dibley with just a fucking staple gun, just pound her feet down.
Oh, Jesus.
You just staple her hands to a treadmill, just like, run, bitch, run! That's the title of this one, Stapling the Vicar of Dibley's hands to a treadmill. There we go. Fucking ring the bell, we've got it. Staple the vicar. Oh,
Jesus Christ. This will be a regular occurrence, I think.
Stapling vicars? just run up to your local church, everyone. Next week we're doing nail guns.
I meant more me disappearing for 5 minutes, just dying of laughter from a classic Edward line.
Yeah, gotta keep them fresh off the press. What were we on about? We're on about before stapling vicars. All about music, weren't we? I think music is it's up to an artist and it's their form of expression, but sometimes it is getting it's always been very corporate, but it's just kind of like big businesses pushing who they want to be in the forefront. Obviously, now that we have the internet, it's a bit different, but it is very like, it's kind of just like they release an album and they know it's going to do well and they're like, eat it up, children. Here's the artist you like, here's the music.
Yeah, it's a bit... I think one thing that sort of speaks to that is the fact that nearly every song every artist does now is just about the same sort of thing. Obviously, yes, it was a bit like that back in the day as well. You'd have the same sort of topics and whatnot.
Rock and roll.
But at least back in the day, every song sounded different. Whereas it's one reason I don't really like Radio 1.
I don't listen to Radio 1.
Well,
thing is, right, I don't mind the songs, like, if I'm working or something, because it's kind of just like background noise, but it's like, I notice it if I start hearing it, like, 4 times a day, that I'm like, then I'm annoyed because I'm hearing the same song again and again.
Yeah.
And that's just, like, why I do prefer, I mean, there are radio stations that do like, no repeats and whatnot, so... but at the same time, it's like I'd rather. It's harder in an office though, because obviously you can't be as liberal with music, so you kind of have to go generic, and it can get a bit repetitive. And I will say this now, that if I ever hear the words DJ Khaled at the start of a song, I just turn it off because it fucking annoys me so bad.
DJ Khaled.
Well, that song he did with Rihanna, like I think Rihanna's an amazing artist, but that song just does no favors for her. It's just so fucking annoying.
DJ Khaled.
I mean, he's a good little meme, but.
A bit like AJ Tracy, really, isn't it? It's like every song he does, like AJ Tracy live and direct. It's like I could do without that.
I'll tell you what fucking classic is though. I've ever shown you DJ Bad Boy Friday night.
I can't say
DJ fucking Bad Boy here steaming a shite. I'm about to tell you a story about my Friday night. Bored as fuck. I'm sitting in my house. It's just like, and it's like this proper like 2010 sort of scratchy bass. I was like,
sounds like a fucking Scottish Faithless. Put it that way.
It's like,
that's incredible.
Bored as fuck. I'm sitting in my house. My body's ready and I need to let loose. Singing, I was alright and I ate my second bottle of beer and I ate my chicken. It's literally the best. It's fucking great. Well, saying that was like one of the meme songs that we had, like me and a few others had back in the Skype days, and it was like that and like fucking Tanak Tanuk and all that.
Oh Jesus!
But it's like, I still find it funny today, but it's like through the goggles of nostalgia. But it is weird how when you do get to a certain point where you appreciate different things about different songs. But I can't really remember what I listened to when I was like 16, because I didn't really listen to music then, because it was always just like YouTube videos or whatever. Like it was only when I sort of started driving again, I started listening to music again properly. But I'm a bit weird with podcasts because I'll only ever do it if I'm at my desk, because if I'm doing something else, is either a book. I to be honest, I normally do choose an audiobook over a podcast as well. But if I do listen to a podcast, I am like at my desk, I'm doing something and it's just on in the background. But if I'm like driving somewhere or doing like something around the house or working or whatnot, and I can just put an earphone in, I'll probably listen to a book. I'll listen to a book over music. But the thing is, right, with audiobooks is I go on like a bender where I'm just like, I'll smash out like 80 hours in a week or something stupid like that, and then I won't listen to it for like a month.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to another week and just do another like 8 hours solid. Like I listen to like 2 books, that Stormlight Archive I told you about.
Yeah.
And that's like 45 hours, 50 hours of book, and I listen to both of them, and then I just haven't got, I only listen to like 3 hours of the third, and I've got a fourth one to get through, but I'll literally go back to it like 2 weeks from now, and I'll just do them all.
Yeah, it is interesting about me. I mean, I think a bit different. I think when I was 16 was probably when I started venturing into finding my own sort of music tastes.
Yeah, because you are influenced by like your parents.
Yeah, I think growing up until 16, I was mainly listening to stuff my dad had introduced me to, which is all classic rock, Pink Floyd, The Who. I think it was at 16 I started, discovering a bit more. I think that's when I found like Kiss, because it's not really my dad's sort of rock music, and ventured into other genres. I'm a big Johnny Cash fan. And I think that's probably when I started fast.
I bet it blew your mind when you found that Devil Went Down to Georgia. I found that like sequel one.
I honestly never knew that even existed.
I didn't know until I found it and sent it to you.
And that, I can honestly say, it blew my mind. And that was incredible.
And he's like, Johnny Cash is narrating it.
I mean, Johnny Cash is just an absolute legend.
Yeah. I think it was weird for my dad because he's like a massive like Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne fan, has been since like 18. But he also likes ELO. He's the one who introduced me to ELO. I mean, I have listened to plenty of Black Sabbath in my time now, but it's never a song I go out my way to listen to. Obviously, I know it, like Paranoid and Fairies Wear Boots and all that, like proper classic Black Sabbath stuff. I know it all, but I think I like a bit more upbeat. Like I like more rhythmic, upbeat music. Like I do like rock, and I do like people shredding shit, but I think I do like the old dun, 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 dun element of it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, I've recently got back into Madness.
Oh,
I forgot just how much I love Madness.
Oh yeah.
A bit like you, if I'm pottering about the house, or I've, as you know, I've got 2 jobs. The one I do in the day, I'll be listening to podcasts or audio books. But then at night, when I'm walking to my other job, whatnot, that's when I tend to listen to music more.
Yeah. And
that's especially if I know it's going to be an absolute shit night. I'll put on some right bubbly music. And it's only about a month or so ago I've rediscovered Madness. I found the CD in my mum's car.
Oh yeah.
I forgot it was there. I was like, oh fuck, I forgot about it. So I think it's like it's called like Complete Madness. It's sort of like greatest hits compilation sort of thing. And I downloaded it on my Amazon Music. And I just forgot how absolutely brilliant it is. If you're in a shit mood and feel like a good bouncy time, Madness is just.
How about upbeat, like the Bee Gees?
Oh,
have you the music video where it's Staying Alive?
Oh,
have you seen their teeth?
I mean,
it's just unnatural, and I think like the big one's gonna eat me. Like, do you think he'd like absorb the others, and just was like, I am Big BG.
Proper absorbable off territory.
Yeah, it's fucking Love and Monsters, which is still shit, by the way. I'd like to point that out. One of the worst Doctor Who episodes around. But let's not go on to another 20-minute rampage about Doctor Who, right? From spawning from talking about The Witcher and Star Trek.
Oh man! So one thing I will say about the Bee Gees, right, is you can always you can always tell when someone's listening to that song.
Oh yeah,
because they'll be doing the fucking strut down the street.
Strut, yeah.
They're like, swinging their arms, bit of swagger going on. Even I do it, I must admit, when I'm, walking to and from work.
Fucking walking like Conor McGregor, just fucking arm waving.
I'll never forget the time I was walking back from work. I think it was last year sometime. I had Tenacious D on.
Oh, yeah.
I was proper singing. It must have been about
Would you have
10,
like
11 o'clock at night. Something like that, yeah. Something like really like fucking out there.
All the dragons balls blazing as I step into his cage.
I've got my big winter coat on. I'm strutting. I've got my my wireless headphones on at the time.
Not AirPods, you can't afford them.
And one of the kitchen staff comes driving past me on the road. And I'm sitting, there's no one around. It's just like 10 o'clock at night or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to sing my heart out because fuck it, I'm on a shit shift. And all of a sudden, he's like, beep, beep. And he puts his fucking thumbs up as he fucking goes around the corner. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I was like, oh, why? Of all the people to catch me, I had to run a fucking kitchen.
I bet it'd be worse if it was your boss, though.
I mean, I think my boss has... No, funny story. My boss scared the absolute fucking shit out of me a couple of months back. I was in the kitchen area.
Yeah.
And around about the time I started listening to new horror podcasts where they tell ghost stories.
I still don't get why you listen, because you're so easily scared. I just don't get why you indulge yourself in horror. I mean,
that's
because you're a bitch.
That's why I like horror. I quite like being scared.
No, because you're just a bitch. Like, you see a spider and you shit your pants.
I've had many bad experiences with spiders. That's
like
why.
What? Name 3.
Well, number 1 is being chased around my house every time there's a
Spiders
spider by my dad.
Spiders don't have the cognitive function to go, I'm after him.
No, but my dad does. When he's chasing me around the house, pretending to throw it, and
it's not the spider's fault. Your dad's a bit of a cunt,
and it ends up being like a fucking tomato vine. I ran down the street once, and it turned out it was a fucking tomato vine.
Never go to Australia.
It's funny you should say that. I'm actually supposed to be going in February 2022 for a wedding.
Fucking hell!
And I have said,
well, my dad would probably go in 2022.
I have said the only way I'm going is if
you just got family shit.
I said, when I land, I want the family we've got over there to check the house thoroughly.
Right. So I heard with like the most venomous snake in Australia doesn't actually bite you; it scratches your skin.
Oh, great!
So if you wear trousers, nothing happens.
Oh, that's good, because I'll be wearing trousers. I wear trousers in 70-degree heat anyway.
Well, thing is, it's interesting you say that, because in hot countries, a lot of people do cover up quite a lot because it stops them getting sunburnt, and it also kind of keeps the cool air in, if that makes sense. So you're not just exposed to the elements. So it is a genuine, like, you do see people who do wear, like, they proper wrap up in hot weather. So I think it is a legitimate thing. But
I mean, back to spiders though. I mean, in Australia, right, it's not necessarily the spiders that are the problem.
They've got loads of anti-venom. You'll be all right.
Like, my problem is, I don't mind bugs, right? I mean, I had a problem with bugs in my old house, but that's another story for another day.
You thought my house was haunted, so I'm not really buying it.
But it's the fact that in Australia, bugs are like 50 times bigger. Like, you literally get stick insects the size of your fucking computer screen monitor. They are fucking massive. And that's what I don't want. I don't want to walk out the house. I
don't think it'll be like Insectageddon out there.
And I don't want to get hit by a kangaroo as well.
I think if you can just stay out their way.
I mean, you never know that. And crocodiles as well. They have crocodiles over there.
Yeah, but it's not like they're getting mauled. It's not like they're in an ongoing war like with the fucking emus.
Well, yeah, but you get crocodiles in your pools over there, and you get snakes on the toilet as well.
It's just like horror stories that are just blown out. But you crash your fucking car. Like, these things are very unlikely to happen.
And do you know why you crash your car in Australia? Because there's a spider that hides in your fucking sun visor. So when you open your sun visor, it jumps on you and attacks you.
Australia's a very big place, so you don't come across a lot of cars out in the open road.
Well, it depends where you are.
Well, yeah,
in the
if
middle
you're
of the city,
yeah, that's different. But you've got to be in the middle of a city, and a spider somehow got to get into your car, get in your sun visor.
Spiders are everywhere, Eddie. They have an agenda against me.
They don't have an agenda against you, Clayton.
They do.
They don't.
They get me at work and all sorts.
You see them more because you want to see them.
Why would I want to see a spider?
Because you want to be scared of them.
I don't want to be scared. I want to be scared by a horror film, but what I don't want to be scared of is a fucking spider.
If you don't give a shit about spiders, you don't notice them as much. That's a fact.
Oh, man, I don't know.
No, because you're on the alert for a spider. If you know you're going to get scared by a spider, you're going to be looking for a spider.
I mean, I'm generally more alert when I'm watching something with spiders in it. Is it ironic that one of my favourite superheroes is Spider-Man?
It is quite ironic, yeah. But he doesn't look like a spider.
Well, no, but there's spiders in it. He gets bit by a spider.
You brick yourself when Shelob comes on Lord of the Rings.
I do, actually, yeah. I can't watch... I struggle watching Chamber of Secrets as well. That is... Oof. Or playing Skyrim, and when the spiders come out on Skyrim. Yeah.
I think you're being a bit dramatic, to be honest.
I'll probably just need therapy.
I think you just need a bullet.
That might help, especially with 2020.
True, yeah. Just fucking...
2020, the new vaccine. A bullet.
Do the classic Kurt Cobain, I don't have a gun. Psych!
Hey, and look what happened to him. Hey. Cheeky fucker.
It's like, you shouldn't have had that, buckaroo. Have you got a licence for that?
Fuck's sake.
Me walking down the street with a button. I thought you got a licence for that. Probably get more time in fucking prison for not having a fishing licence than you do for stabbing someone, though.
Fucking fishing licence. Absolute bollocks. Why do I need a licence to fish, anyway?
I guess it's just regulation, isn't it?
Yeah, but why?
Fish population, I don't know. Environmental shit.
Yeah, it's very rare that people actually like keep the fish or anything. Anyway, if someone could please explain to me what the fuck a fishing licence is all about, I'd be much appreciated.
My uncle's a massive fisher, and I just think it's one of the dullest things. Like when you watch people do fishing programs, and it's like...
I mean, you say that, but River Monsters is an absolute banging TV show.
See, I used to watch Extreme Fishing with Robson Green with my mum.
Oh.
But it was kind of like, they kind of did the weird and wacky shit. But I'm on about some dull bloke sat on a dull lake in a dull chair, fishing some dull fish. He's like, oh, look at this carp. It's like, it's a fucking carp, no one cares. Catch me a merlin, bitch.
I mean...
I want to see a squid!
I mean, they make it look boring, but actual fishing is actually quite good fun. It's quite relaxing.
No, fuck that. I'd rather... play with Lego.
I'd say sea fishing is better, but considering when I went sea fishing, all I caught was crabs. You know,
I mean that's just from the toilet, though, wasn't it?
Probably. I mean, we were in Somerset, so I mean, you know, take it or leave
that's
it.
That's a classic festival, that, isn't it?
You boy.
Fucking hell.
Oh,
I was saying that all the festivals are cancelled this year as well, weren't they?
I know. I was actually going back to Kiss. Actually, I was planning on seeing Kiss at Download this year.
Do you know? My parents were going to go and see Ozzy for like the last 4 years.
Ooh.
He just keeps cancelling because basically, if he hits European climate, he'll die. He needs like the hot LA air, basically. Otherwise, he'll like get pneumonia and just fucking keel over. But I'm convinced that Ozzy, he's not dead. He's just pickled.
Pickled.
That's probably the best way to put it. He's pickled. That's why he lasts longer.
Basically like The Mummy and The Mummy Returns.
Yeah.
Essentially. Or the Mummy films
Also, I would like to say the Mummy films. We didn't mention this last time. I fucking love the Mummy films.
The Mummy films are absolutely...
Brendan Fraser.
Third one's a bit hit and miss.
However... The first Mummy film is like...
It's
in like top 3 for me. Top 5.
I'm going to suggest, I think, once a month, we do a watch-along or something like that. Or we do like a commentary. We have the film on quietly in the background so we don't get copyrighted.
Yeah.
I think...
Well, after my fucking amount of little fucking jabs I made at the first 3 episodes of The Witcher.
Yeah. I think we need
Patreon exclusive.
Yeah, we can do Patreon. We're going to set up a Patreon account. If you give us £100, that'll give you the first episode for free.
You can pay us £100 to get them all for free, or you can watch the second one for free.
Yeah, boy.
But yeah, it's just so good. I fucking love it, and it's just like. I've got the horses. You're on the wrong side of the river.
Brendan Fraser's delivery of that line. I used to say that when I was back in primary school.
You're on the wrong side of the river.
It's just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
It's when they did. Was it the fourth Mummy film when they changed the woman actor?
There's only been 3. Well,
Was it third?
not in counting
Sorry,
like
was
the
it
actual
third?
originals.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
The
Was it
third
third?
of the Brendan Fraser ones, yeah, they replaced. I think it's Rachel Weisz. I think they changed it. I can't remember the actress's name. But the dynamics sort of changed in that one.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, did you? I don't know about Brendan Fraser because he is a gem. Did you ever watch? Oh, I think it was quite a recent Looney Tunes movie.
Oh, Looney Tunes back in
it.
action.
Yeah,
I saw that in the cinema with my grandparents.
Wow.
And to this day, I prefer it over Space Jam. I'm not going to lie.
I mean,
I'm going to put
Space
it out
Jam's
there.
questionable as it is.
I'm going to put it out
I
there.
mean, I blame Space Jam for furries slightly because of the whatever her name is, the female rabbit.
I'm going to refuse
Is
to.
it Lola?
I'm gonna
How many
refuse
times
to
do you
come
wank
in.
to that rabbit?
I mean,
Is it double digits?
I wouldn't say I have. I just acknowledge that she's an attractive rabbit.
She's a fucking cartoon rabbit, Clayton.
Yeah, I know, but
She's literally covered in fur.
I know, but
You
know.
see a little bit of ass, and you're just a horn dog.
I mean, we all know it's about the thigh for me, Edward. But
Nah, you're a degenerate now. You're not worthy of thigh.
At least I don't dress up in furry outfits.
I mean, I don't know what you get to in your spare time. So, judging by how this conversation's going, I won't put it past you.
I just like to watch Tracy Beaker. That's what I do in my spare time.
That's a proper callback though. Tracy Beaker.
Ria Wellard and the Wellards.
Willards.
We're the Willards. Fucking. No, you're not.
No, you're not. If you're hard enough, your parents would have kept you.
Exactly. And where are you now? You're in the fucking dumping ground with fucking Duke.
Duke's a geese, though. Don't go ribbing on Duke.
Absolute fucking geezer.
He's just a fat Aisley Harriet.
Always making his delightful cakes.
He'd be like, he's just there getting the thing out of the cake. He's like, yeah, boy.
Do you know, one of my all-time favourite Tracy Beaker episodes, she's having some sort of weird fever dream. And it's I think it's Duke and I think his name's Sid, who's the head carer at the time. And they're these weird fucking green chef's outfits singing about porridge. And Duke just has this incredible high note. He's like, lovely bubbly porridge! And fucking proceeds to tip it over one of the kids' heads or something like that. It is just the most single... It is probably my highlight.
Porridge?
Anytime I go to McDonald's and Mum's like, oh yes, I'll have the porridge. I'm like, I'll have the lovely bubbly porridge.
Bubbly.
It's fantastic.
Do you think he says lovely bubbly when he's slamming his wife?
Would you like so am I? Lovely bubbly porridge.
It's just he's like, my balls are about to fit. Lovely bubbly porridge.
Do you mind if I keep my sports hat on?
I would like to mention to the class that Toast of London is a fucking absolute dream to watch. And if you've not seen it, you're missing out.
Definitely missing out, especially considering they're bringing out a 4th season eventually.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Toast in America.
I hope they don't do it like they did with the IT crowd when they tried that American pilot, though.
That was just bollocks.
They got Richard I don't know why Richard Iwani agreed to do that pilot. You know.
It's a bit like Primeval, where I think they moved that to America.
Did they?
Yeah, but
fucking
one thing they kept the same was
was
the Connor character.
Oh yeah,
the bloke who played Connor, I think it was. So he was in the American one. I mean, everyone, British or American or wherever, they like the American Office.
Yeah.
I think that's the one instance in
I
which
think it's because the American
side...
Office knew it needed to do its own thing. So the style and the humour is different, but it's not like... It's like, you remember the American In-Betweeners?
What even was that?
It was a beat for beat rip-off. It was like the Ugandan version done bad. I mean, looking back, at the time when we were younger, in between us was like when you're at the same sort of age, you're like, oh yeah, this is fucking great. And obviously now looking at it a bit, it's funny because it's crude.
Mm.
I mean, it does have funny points in it. Like some of the characters tonight is a bit funny, but when you're looking at it back through a bit of an older lens, it's just like, oh, look at all these people like their late 20s, early 30s pretending to be school kids. And it is kind of like, it's a very big caricature of the age group.
Mm. Yeah, somehow accurate.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could probably take you could probably get a group of 4 friends and then sort of extrapolate a character into each person. But you're definitely Neil, by the way.
I mean, I always describe myself as like a combination of like the in-betweeners.
Yeah, you're all just kind of like all of them clusterfuck together.
Yeah.
It's just like they all comes on the same biscuit and your mum ate it.
Yeah. Bit harsh to my mum, but you know. I get the idea.
Well, she ate the biscuit and then out you came.
Well, that's very true. Well, I didn't even come out to it. I was removed.
I'll fucking remove you right now if you want.
I was essentially... instead of happy birthday, I should have happy eviction day is what I should be having people singing to me.
Fucking, yeah, just like get slapped in the detention centre.
It's like, that's it, your fucking rent's up.
Yeah.
You know.
Rent's overdue.
None of this, like, you'll get your rent when you fix this damn vagina door. You know, just like, no, we're fucking taking you out. That's it. See you later.
I mean, it was just the new immigration policy, you know. Got to get rid of the aliens.
Got to get rid of the gingers. That's
Yeah.
what you got to do.
Fucking get them down. I'm not ginger, I'm strawberry blonde. Ah, fuck off, you're just ginger.
I am strawberry blonde.
You're fucking ginger.
I'm strawberry blonde and I happen to have a ginger beard.
No, you're ginger.
I'm blonde.
You're ginger.
I'm blonde.
You fucking gingery McGinginge.
Well, I'm not that ginger.
Ginger nut.
I'm like...
Is that what you say when you come?
But... fuck's sake.
I am the ginger nuts.
Are you ready for my ginger nut?
My balls are about to fizz with tea time with the ginger nut.
Fuck's sake. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh,
Gingerly ginger nut.
Gingerly ginger nutting over the ginger nuts.
Fucking hell. Anyway, I think that might be where we leave it on the note today, everybody. Thank you for tuning in once again. If you have any suggestions on who could be a Chumba or who could be a Wumba, it's for you to decide. Get in touch. Smash the like... Well, I'm joking. Don't smash anything because I don't want to be charged with criminal damage. So
neither do I. I quite like my job and I quite like my mum's house.
It's a shame I don't like you.
And it's a shame I don't like the listeners.
That's very true.
Mm.
I mean, all 3 of them probably. Which would be me, you... and the Russian guy who's trying to steal all my credit card information.
Yeah, it could be Vodafone who's trying to bill me, but you know, that's enough.
The Vodafone story's for another time. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for listening, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. So,
right.
Cheers.
Toodle pip. Bye. Let us throw caution to the wind.